Hey, good morning, YouTube. I just thought I'd do like a quick 15-minute Q&A this morning. Got a few minutes before I've got to really get going and get at it here. And there's been a lot of questions on the channel lately, so I thought we'd go live. There's nobody on at the moment, so I know it's very unexpected. My hair's all messed up. I haven't shaved. But wanted to get out here and do this. Oh, we got 11 people already. Hello, everyone, this morning. Hey, James. Nice to see you here. I'm holding my streaming device, which I'm starting to show my age because I can't figure out where to look. My wife complains about it when we do selfies on date night, that I'm never looking at the proper lens. Morning, Reginald. And so if it looks like I'm staring off into space, it's because I'm forgetting to look at the actual lens. I am going to bring up the live stream on a different... Morning, Lewis. All right, so what I wanted to do this morning, I've got about 10-15 minutes here, and if anybody has any just general questions... Hey, Aaron, that's awesome. You're going to listen to me while you're in the shower, but that's not the worst thing anybody's ever said to me, so that's 13:36. That's 1:30 in the afternoon. What do you think about a Unify voucher printer? Okay, so Max asked, morning everybody. Max just asked what I think about hello Ireland, what I think about a voucher printer. And I think it is a fantastic idea. I think that's actually something that Tim and I could actually do. We are doing a lot of things with portals for Unify, so I think that's absolutely something we could do. Now, hi Juan. I believe if you go out to the Ubiquity community, there is actually a project out there already that somebody posted the instructions on how to do that. But if you were looking to like maybe take it to the next level and have, you know, all kinds of logos and options and stuff like that, I think that's definitely something that we could help you with. All right, next question. Would you suggest using a cloud key per site or use one cloud key for multiple sites? Ian, I would use one controller, multiple sites, if I was managing it myself. Otherwise, if it's the same customer, I would have, if it's the same customer, I would use one controller if possible. Oh, Jamaica. Must be so nice in Jamaica right now. It's 17 degrees here in Peoria, Illinois, and we're supposed to get like 4 to 7 inches of snow tomorrow, so Mother Nature is drunk and can go home. Somebody asked, are you doing VPN benchmarks and QoS benchmarks on the ER4 and the ER6P? The ER4 and the ER6P is definitely getting, they are going through their paces. Let me see. Well, I'm running the ER4 and the ER6 back here. Did find something that I'm going to write up to Ubiquity when working with Eric. I am actually doing, I've got 3 different racks. I want to answer Eric's question real quick. He asked if I could give a quick tour of the rack, and I actually have 3 racks. One is a mobile rack that I'm going to do a video on, and then I have a complete edge rack and a complete Unify rack. So those videos are coming. It's just, you know, when you put yourself out here on the internet, everybody, they critique absolutely everything that we do. And, you know, when you have a lab, it doesn't always look like a production environment. And so I just have to get myself mentally prepared for the onslaught of experts that are going to be telling me how I'm doing everything wrong. The rack behind me. So this is one that gets abused quite often. You can see there's a Grand Stream router there. Here's an Edge router 4. Got an edge router PoE and edge router Lite. There is my Grand Stream UCM right back there. A Cisco switch. You've got a Unify switch there. There's a cloud key. There's a 8, a Synology unit. So this rack gets this is quick, easy convenience. This is not one of my lab racks that I'll be doing a video on, but that's one that if I Toys for Boys, I'm demonetized, man. So my PayPal link is up at the top of the channel. You can click on that and send some money via PayPal if you want. Yeah, I got demonetized for doing a video about how to block ads a couple years ago. So, and I've appealed about a half a dozen times, and they haven't fixed it. So, oh no, you stacked the Unify switches. Where's the flame emoji? Yeah, right. Those are both fanless switches. Hey Dexter, glad to see you're here. I saw you getting some VLAN help out on the Ubiquity community the other day, and I hope they got you up and going with your issue. Somebody said, let's see. Good morning, Willie. I have a 5-user office. Would you outsource phone system to Ring Central, 8x8, or run it yourself? Well, Matt, I would probably host it myself, because the Grand Stream UCM, which I'm going to start doing a lot of videos on, I'm actually getting ready to do a complete voice over IP primer. Voice over IP does not have to be expensive. It does not have to be complicated. And the interfaces do not have to be confusing. So I'm probably going to take a lot of crap for this, but I use pfSense, but I don't like putting it in front of customers because I think the menu is crap. The menu system of pfSense, if anybody out there is listening to me and they work on pfSense, I think the menu system is crap. I think it's difficult for new users. And I was going to use a product called SimpleWall, and in working with some people on my Discord channel, we found out that SimpleWall may have been discontinued. Haven't really looked into it yet. If it has been discontinued, maybe there's a chance for me to reach out to those folks and take over that project. But if you do a Google search for SimpleWall, you will see how beautiful the SimpleWall interface was. And I mean, as nice as Untangle used to be, SuperWall is beautiful. Just go out and check out the screenshots for SuperWall, and you'll understand why that's what I was going to use for my customers. And I have a bunch of content recorded, but now the content filter doesn't work on it and a few other things. So we are trying to, hey Austin, we are trying to figure out what's going on with that distro. And like I said, if there's a possibility that I can take over the project and keep it going, that would be awesome, because I would keep it open source. I would not charge for it. All right, yeah, pfSense, it's totally powerful, but the interface is totally shit for for users that are not techies. So if it's somebody who's a techie, totally, you could throw pfSense at them. But if I got a customer that wants to learn something and they want, I'm not going to throw pfSense at them. I just think it's too much. Yeah, Austin, that phone back there, I did a factory reset on it just to let you know, because that's the nice one with the color screen. And that baby is stuck in a reboot loop where it's trying to flash the firmware. So I've got to do a little bit of homework on that and get that figured out. Let's see. Yep, James and I are probably going to do a video at some point where we put a site-to-site VPN between our routers, and then we do trunks between grand streams. So you can see how 4-digit or 5-digit or 3-digit inter-office dialing is going to work. Willie, you hate pfSense, you over Edge router. So I think the Edge router UI is awesome. It could be better, and I know that they're probably working on it. But if you haven't seen the new Edge switch interface yet, man, check out that last video. They are going places, and I think people think that they're merging the Edge line and the Unify line, and I don't think that I don't think that that's the case. And I hear a lot of that. Why don't we just merge it? Why don't we just merge it? Those are two completely separate product lines, two completely separate use cases. However, if the USG doesn't start getting some more enterprise features, I still think people are going to continue to, in the enterprise, use the edge routers. I know I will, because the multiple WAN IPs having to do that right now through a JSON file, that's a deal breaker for me. Let's see. Yeah, so I don't hate pfSense. I'm just not going to put pfSense in front of non-technical users. You know, is there a way of blocking torrents in pfSense? So yeah, there's all kinds of things that you could do to block torrents. I was working with a friend of mine out in Boston. I don't know if he's watching this or not, but if he is, he knows who he is with Little Gecko. And he has public Wi-Fi at some bakeries, and they were getting the DMCA notices, or DMCA notices. And so we actually used DNSfilter.com, and we believe we've mitigated the issue just using DNS filtering. And for $5 a month, you get 1 million queries. You know, I've got a reseller account, but you know, they've got a good product. Just go out and sign up for DNSfilter.com. Get your 14-day trial. I have affiliate links, but I don't have them set up or anything like that. But I think the product is solid. I think it's pretty cool. What else you guys got for me this morning? I got a few minutes left here before I've really got to get going. Let's open up the phone lines here. Hey Willie, change the subject. Have you played with any server network monitoring software? So Adam, yes, I have. And I don't know if Sean is here or not, but I use UNMS, but also use Libra NMS, and I believe I did a video a couple of years ago on Libra NMS, but that software keeps getting better and better. But also check out PRTG, and then I'm also a fan of Cacti, but some of the other software packages seem to have left Cacti in the dust. Christian, can you talk something about the optimal orientation of the Unify AP on the wall, ceiling, upside down, or doesn't matter? It's about use case there, and designing proper RF for Wi-Fi is part art, part science. There's a lot of physics in it, and I don't want to downplay the importance. But on a Cisco access point, if you're going to mount it on the wall, so first of all, you want to, if you can, you want to either mount it on the wall or you want to mount it on a ceiling. Those are going to be your two optimum places to mount actually any access point that has the integrated antennas. And when you mount a Unify access point, if you mount it on the wall, make sure the U is facing up. And then when you mount it from the ceiling, it's not really going to matter too much. But I mean, we could spend, we could spend an entire week just talking about RF theory and placement of access points and all the physics and math about deciding what you do, when you do, you know, the different types of materials and the attenuation that you get from the different frequencies. So maybe we'll do something on that. I don't know. I mean, we'll have to see. I thought about creating an online training class. I've been doing trainings on Saturdays, and I think I got about 6 spots left for the year. And I would really like to maybe do an online class. Would people be interested if I had an online class that was like a 40-hour class, and it was everything from soup to nuts, and it trained you completely? But it was, I mean, I would have to charge for something like that. Would people be interested in that, or are people really interested in the one-on-one? I like the one-on-one because you get a chance to ask me questions. And when you get a chance to ask me questions, sometimes we both learn things. So head over to h5llc.com. If you're not on the newsletter, hop on the newsletter. And also, we've got a contact form. Oh, Aaron, that is a great question. So I am UEWA certified. I got my certification back in 2015. 2015. And here's my opinion. The UEWA has a lot of good wireless information, a lot of good theory. It covers a lot of RF theory in a very short amount of time. And if you have a good instructor, the instructor can take it and step it up a notch. And I was fortunate when I did mine. I was actually the only student in the class, and so I was able to ask a lot more questions and things like that. But in my opinion, the UEWA, even now, if you look at the free material that Ubiquiti is giving away for it, it is too heavy on the wireless, considering they're trying to make a push into the enterprise. So when I do my custom training, we start with setting up a controller. That's the very first thing we do. We go over setting it up on Linux and Windows. And then we talk about the cloud key. We do an SSL certificate. And we do this all in the class. I provide the controller, the SSL certificate. You provide the Unify equipment. Then we adopt your equipment. And we literally go over every feature of the Unify software. So, and people seem to really, really like that. Yeah, the UEWA pretty much only covers wireless at this point. But yeah, if you go over to h5llc.com, sign up for the newsletter, reach out to me if you want custom training. Just so there's no surprises, I'll tell you right now that 6 hours starts out at $1,000. But if you're not satisfied with it, I would definitely negotiate with you on that. But I've not had one person complain, and I actually started seeing it on the Facebook groups that are out there, even the Unify groups, that people are recommending my training. So yeah, Toys for Boys, people do run the controller on Windows. I was working with a casino in Canada having some problems last night, and their controller is on Windows, and I have to reach back out to them and find out. I have an eye doctor's appointment this morning. I haven't I've kind of neglected my eyes over the last few years, and they're kind of important for me, so I've got to go get that taken care of. But so let's see. So here is the GrandStream phone. I've got it on Do Not Disturb because I was actually playing with wake up calls and stuff, and that probably looks like crap on the screen. It's too bright. But this is the phone that I did a video on, and I love these things. So we're gonna show you how easy and convenient voice over IP can be, and how inexpensive it can be using these GrandStream products. And GrandStream has a beautiful interface, and you get all kinds of plugins for different systems right out of the box. Hey, Germany. All right, does anybody else have any other questions here this morning? Let me see if I've got any fan mail. Hey, Toys for Boys. Thank you for the PayPal donation. That is always appreciated. So I've just seen that come through, and I really do appreciate that. I really appreciate everything that everybody does. If you guys, if you weren't here, I would still be learning, but because you're so engaged with what I do and you like to learn as much as I like to show you, that's what keeps this going. Plus building the business and things like that. So I do appreciate everything. Aaron, if you go to yes, IP version 6 is coming. Hey, David. David Stahl of Ubiquiti fame is here with us. So my handler, so to speak, is here to make sure I don't say anything stupid. Aaron, so check out h5.sip.us. I am recommending sip.us for trunks. If you use that link, you'll get free number porting and their tech support. If you didn't see my video on Easter, I had questions about my trunk, and the guys actually, I submitted a ticket. I didn't even expect a call, and they called me on Easter. It was amazing. Answered my questions. It was beautiful. Yeah, Daniel, IP version 6 and edge routers are coming. And there's all kinds of cool stuff that you can do with the UK. Yeah, Aaron, if anybody has any suggestions for Aaron in the UK for SIP providers, if you've got one that's awesome and not crap, post it and let him know. I do not know anything about. I will tell you, Jeffrey, that the first time I saw an Elite controller live was 2 nights ago on a service call. A customer of mine, where we ripped out a Fortinet and replaced it with a USG. They had the Elite controller. And I'd never seen it before, so I got a chance to poke around in it. And I can't really comment on how I like the service because I don't know, but he said that they haven't had any issues. Now, I know that they were on hiatus from taking new customers, and as much as I love Ubiquiti, you guys know that I'm Team Ubiquiti all the way. I'm not, I host my own controllers, or I put them in the cloud or they're cloud key, but I typically don't pay anyone else to host those. Let's see. Hey, Mexico, man, it's got to be warmer in Mexico than it is here right now. It was 17 degrees a few minutes ago. Willie, what's the cheapest hardware solution for VPN, 1 gigabit a second speeds, intrusion detection, and QoS? So you want the full meal deal. And doing all that at 1 gigabit. So if you're looking at the Unify line, you got to go with the XG to get 1 gigabit throughput. Man, I don't know. You could look at something Palo Alto, but if you got to have that 1 gigabit throughput, you're going to be paying a lot of doll hairs for that. How does the new Cloud Key have a better SoC along with USB-C? Horrento, even if I knew anything about the new Cloud Key, I could not talk about it. So, not sure if I know you from somewhere. But there are certain things when you're, there are certain things that Ubiquiti says you can't talk about and you can't talk about them, so I'm not going to talk about them. That just sounded totally like the Department of Redundancy department wrote that. All right. Is it possible to send Wake on LAN packet from USG to a Synology? I have no idea, but if you go out to h5llc.com and use the contact form, send that over to me and we'll take a look at that. That was Andre Lumen. Please reach out to me. Wake on LAN. If you're not familiar with Wake on LAN, it uses what's called magic packets, and it wakes up your machines and can power them on if you've got it supported in the BIOS and enabled. It's pretty cool stuff. We use it to let people shut their computers off and then do updates, off hours when those computers are off. Here's a good question. Do you believe in UFO or aliens? So who am I? So this question, I believe that it would be pompous of us as humans to believe that we are the top of the food chain in the universe. What that means to you, no matter what you believe in, I'm not going to get into a theological discussion. I'm not going to get into a political discussion or religious, anything like that. But no matter what you believe, I think that you have to believe that we are not the end all be all. Do you prefer the Edge Max or the Unify series? So for a small office that has very simple needs, Unify all the way. Anything that starts getting complicated, I throw Edge Max in. I'm actually going to be releasing a video tonight for a customer of mine that's in Indonesia, and I already did this setup for another customer, but I'm going to explain why I would put an Edge Switch 8 in a Unify network. So stay tuned for that. I'm waiting Unify video hosted tutorial. So Unify video, I always keep my NVR on site if I can do that. In fact, I don't think I have any remote NVRs. It's remote video like that is very tough sometimes. Somebody says, Mr. Sky says, good afternoon, Willie. Is UTM an option in the future plugin? So full UTM, I don't know. Maybe David Stahl can answer that since he's creeping out there with the rest of you. But IDS, IPS, the geo blocking, and some of those other features, that's a very good start to UTM. What's your thoughts on the new Amplify teleport? I love that device. I carry the dongle with me a lot, about as much as I carry my net tool. I wish that they would come out with a USG version of that. People are like, well, you can build your own. Yeah, you can build your own, but then you got to jack with it. The Amplify stuff just works, man. And I even have it double natted, and since it has to use OpenVPN because it works through double nat, so it is beautiful. And any plans for U-Fiber? If I could get Ubiquiti to send me a small setup, I would absolutely do videos on that. Hello. All right. So I appreciate all of you being here this morning. Check out my website over at h5llc.com. You can check out some of the other videos that I've got. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. I've got my Amazon shop out there if you're interested. And Edge Router Lite, IGMP. Make sure you've got your upstream and your downstream set properly on that, and make sure you write it to the config there, Daniel. But I am. Who do you think will win the YouTube boxing fight? You know what? I pay attention to people that do content like me. I do watch some other people like AVE. I love that guy. But some of those other channels, I really don't pay attention to them. I really don't. There's so much other stuff going on that it's hard to. Some of that stuff you just got to filter it out. But I appreciate everybody being here this morning. I appreciate all the support you guys give me. You know, go over to h5llc.com, reach out, and if need help, any consulting stuff like that, definitely take care of you. And if you like this video, make sure to give me a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribing, share our content. Go to h5llc.com, get on the newsletter, follow on Twitter and Instagram, and we'll see you guys in the next video.